Good morning. Welcome back to the pitch stage. Hope everybody's doing great this morning. Now, we want to get a crowd around to see these great startups pitch what they've got, so let's get everybody fired up. How you guys doing this morning? Come on, let's hear it. How you doing? You're at Web Summit. This is the best place on earth right now. You guys having fun? Okay, so you're here, and you're going to get to see these guys actually pitch the best of what they do, their passion. So you need to let them feel your passion, too. You know what you're doing here? This is pitch. This is an on-stage startup battle. These guys have been selected as some of the top startups here at Web Summit. And they're here to share in a competition on stage in front of this esteemed panel of judges. And what they're doing, they're going to present for 3 minutes. That's 180 seconds. How many people out there can do that? A challenge. And then these guys have another 3 minutes to actually ask questions. So we're going to turn this over very, very quickly. So first I want to welcome the judges who've agreed to do this. We have, let's see, Patrick Backman from Open Ocean. We've got Tim Smith from Us2. And we've got Jules Walker from KPMG. Welcome the judges. And we have lots of guys here ready to go. Now, if you don't understand what pitch does, as these guys battle, we're going to get one winner at the end of this. So before you walk away from here, we're going to know who the winner is. And the winner will go on tomorrow to compete with the other winners for that ultimate championship of being able to say, I'm the pitch champion at Web Summit. You guys excited about that? Do you have a place to put that imaginary trophy on your mantle? Good to go? All right. So these guys are representing everything across the industries. And you're going to see all kinds of startups here today. So without further ado, let's get going. So welcome to the stage, Alberto from MobiQ.
Okay, test. Okay, so thank you. My name is Alberto, and I'm of the founders of MobiQ, and we want to optimize one of your best resources. And it's not your money, it's your time. You see yourself in this picture, right? Waiting in lines, wasting your time to get served. And it gets worse when finally it's your turn and you are alerted that you forget a special document or you are on the wrong line. So you have to go back again. We had to fix this. So we developed Remote Ticking, a mobile app that allows you to, based on your location and your profile, select stores near you and actually in real time see the queue status and allows you to take an actual ticket. Because it's a mobile app, you can see in real time your position and only go there when necessary. In the meantime, a chatbot can talk to you and alert you about the special document or a special promotion only for you. At the end, you can send your feedback to the store immediately and in real time. We have real customers, real paying customers, about 15 real paying customers, which represents 34 stores. We went board on market sectors like retail, hospitals, universities, municipalities, services, etc. So we are on good track in the market. Our business model is based on a fixed standard fee, starts at 99 until 250 per stores. Only in Portugal we identified, besides the medial sector, around 15,000 stores. We are a team of three guys that studied together, that know each other for a long time, and are doing everything at this stage. But we wanted to go further on. Based on our customers and the feedback, we understood that we didn't fix a special part of the problem. That was actually getting there. Wasted time on traffic or on transportation. We have to fix this also. So we develop, beside remote tickets, we develop remote solution. When it's your turn, you can be served through a video call remotely without leaving the office or your home. In this period, you can pay for the service, sign digitally your contract, or share a document as you were physically present. And you are talking directly to your account manager as you were in presence. For the companies, it's a good advantage because they want to optimize their branch. You can sit here in Braga and be served for someone who was actually placing in Braga, who was doing nothing. So we are saving their money by saving your time. Don't waste any more time. Join us. Thank you.
All right, judges, really quickly, you're going to ask questions. And what you're judging on is you're looking at the team, the business, the product. You're looking at the quality of the pitch you just saw. And then you're thinking about how disruptive this can be. So ask your questions for Alberto.
I have a question.
Okay.
Have you done any user experience, and if so, user testing? And if so, what's been the feedback you've got from the users and the customers?
Sure. Not only before launching the product, we were 1 year testing the product in real pilot, but actually we have real users. We are getting feedback. For example, we have 4.7 in App Store as a feedback from the users, and we are always collecting feedback from the users and from the stores itself. So we are evolving the product, not only the remote service, but all the additional features. Like, for example, we are integrating pre-booking sessions, we are integrating special promotions, notifications, special notifications, and so forth, based on that feedback. Real feedback.
So you have two quite different products. One is kind of eliminating the queues at the counter, and one is remote servicing to people's needs. Do you really think you can and should combine those two for the long haul, or bet on one or the other?
The thing is, it was actually something that the customer asked us to be on one product only. It was not from our perspective that we need to build this. The customers are asking us to do this in only one product. And the same person who attends physically a guy can, in the second after, be serving someone remotely. For example, we have a pilot in one of the biggest banks in Portugal, and they want for the account manager to be serving someone physically, but also the guy he knows remotely when he's at break in the office.
I can see the application. The first thing I thought of when you started talking was in the U.S., the DMV. Anybody had problems with the DMV? It's horrible. Government agency, government type of entity. But I'm not clear on the retail side. Can you give an example of a retailer that's using your product?
Yeah, well, we have Leclerc, which is a major chain, for French chain. When you want to go for bread or for buy something, typically you need to wait some time to buy. And what we are building is you can take a ticket to raise bread or buy some meat or so forth, and you can continue walking and continue buying things because you can monitor your status in the queue in your app. And because you have a profile, they know who you are, and so they can connect to you even prior to the service. So they can suggest new things and so forth. While you are waiting, you can circulate through the retail food leverage, and you can get new special promotions while waiting for your turn.
Have you been able to calculate the return on investment for the customer?
Yeah, great question. Actually, based on our base products, and because we are totally cloud service, we are actually cheaper than the traditional players on this market. But the cost, because of the marketing side, is difficult to calculate, but it's a fraction of the competitors.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alberto from MobiQ. Give him a hand. Next up, Nicholas from Pressapoint.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicholas from Pressapoint. What we are doing is we're actually revolutionizing microscopy, and what we will start with is pathology. How we're actually going to do that, I'm showing you. This is our device. We are doing hardware as well as the software behind it. So the problem that you currently face in pathology is that everything is going just to normal microscopes with binoculars, as you know it from school. There's actually nothing digitally working there. So we have the possibility to change that with the technology that we have in place. Even like Google Brain Team is admitting that it's very difficult to actually get the raw data to apply like AI or other algorithms in the end to the images, because there are currently no images. And we are changing that. We build an ecosystem that is taking care about that. This is how the whole process looks like. What you see there, you have the digital image. We can generate that. Then you have huge data that we are able to store, right? We have a cloud system, we have a local storage system, and then you have the image analysis where we have kind of an app store where other companies can plug in. We also have our own algorithms, but other companies can plug in. And like that, we can literally solve any kind of problem in microscopy. So there's a few competitors. We have a very different approach because we have a pay-per-use model that I cannot explain in detail, but it works great. That is what we already have achieved. We are now in 18 countries, selling already. We have great customers all around the world and moving very fast forward. This is actually which other applications that we can still cover when we have digital pathology actually in place. So the different applications that you have really are such a wide range because there are more than 30 billion of these glass slides that you always have under the microscope produced per year. And this number is rising. And that's actually a hidden market that we are tackling. There's very little competition. And we're going to get a huge share of that. This is our team. We are now 25 plus people. The company is so far mainly bootstrapped. We have not much exposure so far to investors. And yeah, that's basically it for the moment.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas.
So may I ask directly, why do you focus also on the hardware? Because I've seen quite some disruptive companies in this field who focus only on the image, kind of gathering, analysis, AI, predicting where, is there some cancer here or there. The hardware part easily kind of limits your scaling speed. So why do you do that?
Because the hardware is in the beginning. I mean, this is something that's overlooked. I know investors, when we talk to them, it's always about, why do you do the hardware? You need the hardware because the hardware is the beginning. If you're able to place your hardware there, you also sell the software, people come to your ecosystem and you have them. You have them for a very long time. These are markets where people are not changing afterwards. Then you really have them. You have to have a really nice hardware to actually get the customers. It's like the iPhone, You have the iPhone, you sell it, and then you have the apps.
Well, I do understand, but those who focus only on the images and image analysis, they can move so much faster. I mean, they have access already to thousands and thousands of microscopes and their images and databases of pictures, and they can analyze and create AI so much better than you probably can.
I wouldn't say that because, if you don't have the hardware in place, also at an affordable price, you cannot deliver the process. You have so many companies who do exactly like that, who thought that and who have the thinking error that they can do it without the hardware. They're now knocking on our doors as crazy and want to collaborate. I can show you. It's easy.
Okay. I have a similar or complementary question. When I was thinking about the beginning of your pitch, I was thinking about some other startups that are doing similar work. And then your slide, you had very large global corporate companies on there. So you're competing on both ends of the spectrum. What is your clear differentiator from all those other players?
That you focus and really have a hardware that is straight down to the point. That is really truly digital. There are a lot of for example, the old players like Nikon, Leica, and so on. They mainly have products that are half digital. You see there an old microscope still with the binoculars, some motorization, and the whole thing is so unstable and prone to errors. It's incredible, and the software companies that are now working with that. They all want to have a collaboration to integrate our hardware and also our ecosystem.
I have a question on privacy. I think of course, it's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, but what privacy concerns do you see with a digitization like this, and what are you doing to mitigate those?
Sorry, I didn't get the question fully.
Well, it's you're making this quite personal data very, very accessible and digitizing it. Is there any sort of privacy concerns around that?
You mean hurdles to implement that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there are hurdles. I mean, firstly, you move in very slow markets. You have to accept it. The buying cycles are very long, right? If you talk to labs, universities, and so on. On the other hand, people are very open. So the people are the accelerator in the whole thing. So you need to get the people into the process and then also to integrate it really into the processes of the labs. These hurdles, when you can take, it's fine.
The value exchange to the...
Sorry?
The value exchange is there.
What value?
The value exchange is there.
Sorry.
And that's the end of this exchange. Absolutely right.
Good.
So thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Press Point. Give him a round. Fantastic.
Thanks.
Welcome to the stage, Philippe from Eureka Studios.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Philippe, and I'm the CEO of Eureka Studios. Today, I'll be sharing with you what I see as being the future of video conversations. If you think about the first time you've ever had a Skype conversation and the last time you did, actually not much has changed in terms of user experience. And that's how we came up with Mojipop AR, which is a next-generation AR-powered social video platform. But before moving on, let me take one step back and show you the technology we've already developed. Is there any sound? So today's users want virtual conversations to be more fun and personal and tailored to their specific needs. And that's why we created a Mojipop keyboard, which is just a fun and personal way to communicate with your friends and family. It's basically an interactive keyboard that uses facial recognition to create and share personalized stickers as you type on your keyboard. Even though we have no marketing budget at all and we're 100% bootstrapped, we already achieved 3 million downloads globally, and Google Play chose us last year as the best social app of the year in France and Germany. So thanks to this opportunity, I had the chance to meet great people all around the world and to attend a lot of interesting events, including the Web Summit. And I noticed that as we speak, there are 3 major trends happening in this industry where I work. The first one is that the world is moving from photo to social video. The second one is that facial recognition has now matured, and a lot of the new breakthroughs are happening in object recognition and augmented reality. And thirdly, data is still very important to make user experience, to improve user experience. This is an example of one such event where I went earlier this year at Facebook. So what we want to create is basically leverage these 3 trends and create a new product where you just take your phone, you take a video, and using object recognition, we're able to see what is inside that video and create your avatar and your friend's avatar engaging with the content, as you see in this example. The best part of it is that we already have a prototype available on Android, and basically this is the result you can achieve. So you take a photo, it knows the content that is inside, and it creates an automatic video that you can instantly share with your friends and family. So thank you very much. There's all.
You didn't talk at all about revenue or projections. Can you tell us a little bit about what your plans are?
So about revenue, we already monetizing the app, but we're not monetizing the way I want. So the advertisement business, right? If you think about Facebook and Google, it's huge. But I don't think they are doing it the right way because I don't think they're taking into account mindset. So basically, when you see an ad on Facebook, it's based on your absolute data. If you like hamburgers, you'll have a McDonald's ad. But by having a keyboard and by having a camera and by using object recognition, I'm able to know the mindset of the user at the moment when I could not compete with Facebook and Google on the absolute data. So I'm able to say that if the user says, I'm thirsty, then there will be a Coca-Cola ad. And if I get investment, one of the channels I would build on would be to create an ad platform that is mindset-based rather than...
So back to my question. It's a free app, and your revenue model is advertising.
Revenue model right now, we have a client which is called BlackBerry Messenger, which is still a very big IM in Indonesia. And basically, we did a similar thing to, I don't know if you're familiar with Bitmoji and Snapchat. We're doing a similar thing. So we created an app as well called BBmoji. They're paying us a pretty large license fee every year. And we're allowing them to use our technology integrated in BBM. So if you download BBM, actually, you'll see that one of my apps is there, very similar to this one.
So this is a very cool and kind of gimmicky thing for social communication. but it's kind of binary. Either they take off or they don't. And if they don't, yeah, you can try to partner with different entities, but it's really not taking you to a big success. So do you have any evidence that this kind of will go viral and take off?
Yes.
Because there's hundreds of these who try to do gimmicky communication, and
Sure.
it's really down to the evidence then to see if you can succeed or not.
So that's a very good question. So I'm living in China. I've been working in China for 10 years. And actually, me and my team, we developed the very first app, Chinese app, to go #1 in the US and go #1 in another 120 countries. It was called MomentCam at the time. And I wouldn't say that there is a formula that works 100% of the time. Otherwise, it would be a billion-dollar business to sell this formula. But because we're a content-based app, it's very easy to get organic growth. And there are some channels where you can make marketing much more effective. So, for example, for Christmas, a lot of people embrace this app because it's a fun way to say Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas in a more emotional and personal way.
But you don't have any KPIs yet that show that it takes
we
off.
do. So we have 3 million. So basically what happens with this kind of apps is that every time a user shares one content, there's about 200 people on Facebook that see it. Out of those 200 people, about only 3 will actually download the app, right? But those 3 people will actually share as well. So it creates a snowball effect, and it's very easy for this to go viral once you put a marketing budget, which I'm not putting it at all. I had this budget when I was working in my previous company because at the time we got investment from Alibaba and so on. But right now, it's bootstrapped, so I'm not doing it at the moment. But I know the marketing channels to achieve a pretty good result.
I just have more of a remark than a question. I really like this idea of this mindset data. I'd be interested to see what the other applications are of such data.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sorry, it's my accent.
No, it's fine.
I really like where you're going with this mindset analytics or mindset direction. I'd be interested to see with that mindset data what the other applications are of that, further than a sort of an emoji app, but could be more meaningful.
So that's a very good question. So I think besides just monetization and ads, building ad revenue, there's a lot of interesting things you can do. So if you think about AI and machine learning, right, by a user using a keyboard, right, and interacting with the keyboard and choosing a certain content, you're able to also create mechanisms to guess what the user wants to share at a certain moment. And this is something very valuable nowadays as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Philippe. Thank you to Eureka Studios. Please put your hands together. Thank you. Welcome now to the stage from Contentino, Bo.
So hey guys, my name is Bo. I'm a CEO of a social media tool, Contentino. And this is John, if he pop-ups. This guy. He's a social media manager. He gets hundreds of emails, Excel sheets, and other documents from copywriters, graphic designers from his agency to create amazing social media content for their clients. And his clients is calling him all the time to give him a feedback about the content he creates. And he's not happy about it. Plus, he's not alone. There's over 20 million social media managers and marketeers dealing with social media. And they spend only in the US $31 billion a year. And this number is going to double within the 2 years. Contentino puts all these people into one transparent, intuitive platform where these guys can collaborate, exchange files, and approve created content. It is like Basecamp or Asana for social media. This is how it works. The social media manager uploads, creates a post in a calendar like that one, uploads an image, writes a copy, assign a task to graphic designer to put a new image. Graphic designer receives a notification, uploads an image, writes to the next spot. All the communication and file exchange is happening right next to the live post preview. Then it's being sent to a client, and clients finally approve it. After final approval, it's being sent, scheduled, or exported to a particular social media platform. And now you might be asking, there's so many social media tools out there, like Hootsuite, Buffer. Those tools are great, but none of those really solve the collaboration and approval parts of social media. And that's why they still need to use emails, PowerPoints, Trellos, or whatever. And that creates a lot of misunderstanding, errors, etc. We have right now more than 350 actually paid accounts, and more than 800 brands and agencies are using Contentino worldwide. We are monthly subscription-based software as a service with a monthly recurring revenue, 35,000 euros. We are growing steadily 10%, annually 400%. And we are bootstrap, and we are being cash positive. This is kind of an old screen, but anyway, we are planning to hit 500K in revenue this year. Next year, we are going to launch a Facebook campaign manager. It's going to be purely for ads, and it will bring us a new stream of revenue. And also, we will improve our analytics and reporting with more AI and artificial intelligence, machine learning. So we give hints to social media managers how to create better content. We are a team of 6. This is our core team. We have experience from social media, business development, software development. And in comparison, our direct competitor from States, they have similar number of clients, and they are a team of 35. We are a team of 6. Those tips prove how we are driven. But we are also hiring heavily right now. So we are looking for investors, strategic partners, and people who will help scale our business. Thank you so much.
Nice job, Bo. Judges.
So very cool product and good combination of needs in the marketplace. I'm a bit wondering, why are you building a known Facebook campaign manager? Because there are so many and so good tools for that. Isn't there a better way to just work with other tools that provide that capability?
Well, I actually don't know any tool which helps to manage the workflow when creating ads. You have media agency on one side, you have creative agency on another side, then you have clients, and they all need to collaborate somehow and approve the budget, the targeting, the creative assets. And you don't have a tool
which is for really creating the actual thing before it goes. Okay, I was thinking of more the targeting side and the analytics on that.
Yes.
And so forth.
It's basically we use Facebook API and we connect Facebook Ads Manager with our platform.
Okay.
You had some great logos up there, client-wise. What do you see as your total addressable market?
Total addressable market, money-wise or?
Number of clients and revenue, more specifically.
We look at our competitors and we see how much revenue they have. Hootsuite had last year revenue 35 million, Buffer 17 million, Sprout Social 100 million US dollars. So when we take a look at our competitors, it's a huge stake where we can still take quite a big bite.
Is there any hurdles or challenges with, or do you need permissions to work with the likes of Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth?
They are. It's a good question. We are not Facebook marketing partner or Instagram marketing partner. We are trying to become one. But it's a tough thing because sometimes they have a different vision and sometimes we don't have the same vision as the Facebook has. Facebook is saying they don't need advertising agencies in the value chain. And we are helping to kind of streamline and creating the smooth workflow between the agency, client, etc. So that's the biggest hurdle, and this is my honest saying. So it's not a lie.
So a customer today pays about $100 a month for your tool, so that's very very good. But what's your model for acquiring new customers, and can you estimate the kind of payback time of getting a new customer? 2 months?
Yeah.
What is that a scalable model? How do you get them? How do you find them, identify, and convert them?
Interestingly, 70% of our clients came from Facebook advertising. The cost per acquisition is about 150 per paid account.
Yeah, but how do you do it? Where do you get them? I mean, how?
We use Facebook advertising. We advertise on Facebook. We target social media managers, agencies, with really tailored ads. They see the problem. They see the solution instantly. They log in, they have 30-day trial, and then...
But if the payback time is so quick, then why do you need investors? You could just pour in money, borrow some money and pour in money and get,
We need investors for expansion for US market. We don't need investors if we stay doing the lifestyle business, which we don't want, but for US market expansion, we need an investment.
All right, very good, thank you.
All right, thank you, judges. Thank you, Bo and Constantino. Put your hands together. These guys are working really hard, doing good stuff. Next up, we have Sharona from TV Excel.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sharona, and I'm with TV Excel. TV has evolved from that to this to cable TV, and then to Facebook, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff. With that, the brands now wonder, how do I stand in all this saturated market? From what I heard, YouTube itself, about 10 million people are broadcasting. So how do we know which one is good and which one is bad, and how do we choose the content? So what we did with TVXL is we are a network that broadcasts 24 hours a day, only positive content that are productive. We don't broadcast politics, we don't broadcast entertainment, sports, or anything, just productive content. So these are some of the questions that people, and this is our team, and Nathan to my left is here, and Kim to my right is here. So if you guys need to talk to them, you can talk to them. So the problem that we faced is 95% of the broadcasters that are out there on social media, they make no money. Why? So I'll briefly go through some of those things. Huge populations of the world not accessible to these content providers, right? And there's so much information, and there's free content, so you can't make money off free content because most of the social media people, they keep all the money, right? And the traffic is limited, there's no exclusivity. So here are our solutions from TVXL. We are in all the, so we have a global presence in 180 countries, and we monetize the content. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to go through. So I suggest you go to our website and learn more about us. So we broadcast on all of these platforms using streaming TV, right? So, and eventually we'll add Xbox and PlayStation to it. So through all these media, we are broadcasting 24/7. So this is our market, and it's growing, and the revenue of TV streaming is growing, and these are the major players that does streaming. So we are in that market to position ourselves. So here's our competitive advantage. Again, our website will give more information, and there's only so much that you can cover, and these are our revenues per year, and we are trying to generate 140 slots for the first year to broadcast, and the second year we're going to go to 6 countries, and the third year we're going to have more countries other than the local markets, and the fourth year we are expanding globally. So this is what it is, and my time is limited. And by the way, this is not an antenna, it's actual hair. Okay?
I was going to ask, but I didn't want to. So thanks for clarifying. Judges.
So I'll be honest with you, you went very fast through this.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it.
Yeah.
You started off by talking about how there's all these channels and all this content available, and my perception of your product is you're adding another one.
What we are doing is like we handpick 140 people to broadcast, and they're all vetted providers. They have been tested, like for example, if they're doing biology, they are very good in biology. If they are doing technology, they are very good in technology. So those 140 people, they will have an hour per day, per week, right? So they will only broadcast that content. They stream to the TV.
So it's an educational channel.
Not just educational, we'll do like, yeah, kind of, but some people, they just has a product that they want to launch, and sometimes it's a training. So it's like a bunch of stuff.
So do you have any metrics on how good this is? I mean, how many people are watching, and engagement and retention and so forth?
So our content is paid content, so we are not going by the numbers. And we have had some people who broadcast and they charge per view. And some people have made like $400 an hour. Some people have made $12 an hour. So it's like...
But how many, the audience? I mean, how many, are there 1,000 or 100,000 or 1 million people watching?
Right now, we have like different subscribers. Some of the people have like about 12,000 subscribers. So overall, I think we have about 400,000 people watching.
Any metrics on how much they watch and how much time they spend and returning and so forth? That I mean,
yeah.
Okay, what I'm looking for is evidence that your content is really exciting and good.
Yeah.
And
so I can give a couple of examples. We had a gentleman from Indianapolis, Indiana. He broadcasted algebra in China. We had 4,500 downloads, and 480 people paid. He made 8,000 in 2 hours. And then we had another gaming company. They teach the business side of gaming, so they generate about $120,000 a month in the sale.
Right, but okay, but then it seems it's like very tailored content for a very tailored audience that pays.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not a broad kind of channel.
Yes.
So that example you gave, the 8,000 in 2 hours, how much went to Excel TV?
We collected 6,000 from that customer. So we charge 6,000 for the slot, and they have unlimited potential of making money. So right now we have 43 people broadcasting live and 60 people who has on-demand content. So they each pay different monies based on what they broadcast.
How exactly do you curate the content, and how do you ensure that it's a diverse representation of people, topics, cultures, etc.?
What we do is we vet every provider and then make sure that they fit our channel.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Sharona. Go ahead and set that down. Thank you, TV Excel. Put your hands together. Okay. Next up, we have Mona Lee from Physio in a Box.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mona Lee. I want to ask you, can you please raise your hand if you have ever sustained an injury or struggled with pain, but didn't consult with a health professional? Let's face it, professional healthcare is expensive and time-consuming. Statistics show that more than 50% of all sports and recreational injuries go untreated, or they attempt self-treatment without any professional guidelines. But how do you treat an injury if you don't even know what type of injury you sustained or where your pain comes from? That's why our team of physiotherapists created Physio in a Box. It's an easy-to-use DIY treatment toolbox for pain and injuries. We want to make professional-level diagnosis and treatments available to everyone. So how does it work? We've created a unique app that takes you on an interactive diagnostic journey to determine a probable diagnosis and then provide you with a specific treatment plan. The treatment toolbox is stocked with all the physical materials, such as pre-cut kinesio tape and ice packs. Everything you need for treatment and rehabilitation, along with step-by-step instructions from the app. We've also created different types of boxes. Each box focuses on a specific area of injury, which allows you to self-diagnose and treat more accurately than ever before. And all of this for less than the cost of a single doctor's visit. With a current fast-growing sports medicine market valued at $6 billion and a digital health market estimated to reach $233 billion by 2020, Physio in a Box is perfectly placed to make a meaningful impact. We are currently launching the ankle injury box here at the Web Summit, with a low back pain and urinary incontinence soon to follow. We are also in the process of obtaining CE approval for our product and thereafter FDA approval. In South Africa, our home country, we've already secured distribution through one of the largest online retail stores, as well as distribution through one of the largest pharmacy groups. Currently, we are still self-funded and completely bootstrapped. But none of this would have been possible without an amazing team. We've got Cliffy Deacon, he's the physiotherapist of the international Pakistan cricket team, Boundary, our award-winning tech firm, as well as Werner Klute, our award-winning marketing expert. In the future, we will expand our range to cover all the most common areas of injuries. We are also planning on making more kids-friendly boxes and to partner with specific sport types such as CrossFit and to create sport-specific boxes for them. So basically, Physio in a Box is innovative, affordable, accessible, and convenient. Physio in a Box. We take you from pain to back in the game.
Thank you, Mona Lee. Judges?
So right now, I don't have any ankle pain today, but it's possible I leave the stage and I trip over the step and then I have ankle pain. So is your product something I would have in my house? Like you want every household to buy it, or would I buy it at that point? Or?
I think the idea is to actually, well, we'll put it on Amazon, we'll put it everywhere, so you can order it or you can actually go in and buy it. But I think it's nice to have at home, especially if you've got kids that are doing sports, or like, for instance, if you play netball, there's always more ankle injuries happening in a netball field or on a soccer field. So to keep it in stock will be good. Otherwise, to go into a pharmacy or to order on Amazon, or for us, take a lot, and it gets delivered the next day.
There's alarm bells ringing for me that I'm sure you've already thought about. Is that, how dangerous is this product potentially? Can it mean a misdiagnosis and therefore an injury goes untreated? And then is there any kind of liability fallout that you might have to face?
Okay, so we made it a probable diagnosis, and then on the app, the idea is not to try and take the work away from, I'm a physio myself, so to take away from physios or the health professionals. So we've put in a lot of red flags, things to look out for, especially like in each and every area. So if you can't bear weight, say for 72 hours on your foot, you need to consult with a health professional. And we've already got a whole database of all the health professionals in the area, so that you can, from the app, locate a health professional. The biggest problem for us is everyone that sustained the injuries, they don't end up with us. They only get to us by the time they can't walk anymore, or when it's really, the problem has escalated so far that they've got so many secondary problems. So the idea is actually to get them proper initial treatment and proper rehabilitation, and if they do have something more serious, to actually get them to a health consultant earlier than what they would have gone in any case.
That brings me to my other question is, how have you, I think there were 3 packs there, the back, ankle and urinary. Yes. Are they the 3 most common injuries? Or?
Yes, sorry, your ankle injury is 30% of all sports injuries. And then the low back pain, statistics is between 80 and 90% of all people have struggled with low back pain sometime during their life. And then the urinary incontinence, I also have a physiotherapy practice in the urology hospital. Been working there for more than 6 years, and the female incontinence is more than 30% of all people above 40 years old. And there's no thing that they can actually obtain anywhere to really help them treat it, and it's very treatable.
So how much does a box cost, and what does it cost to make it? So what's your margin?
Well, the margins are quite good. So to actually produce a box at this stage, it costs us about not even €6, and we retail them for between 23 and 24 euros.
All right. Thank you, Mona Lee. Put your hands together. Physio in a box. And we have our final competitor, Anastasia from InTouch.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anastasia, CEO of the company InTouch. We develop technology for wearable emotion recognition. I'm a physicist, engineer, and also a very emotional person. Let's stop for a second and think how we can be in touch with our emotions, not just with others, as we speak here on Web Summit mostly. For example, what % of the time of the day do you usually spend being happy? And how much are we depressed, or even worse, not realizing that we're in depression? And nature already provided us with a very powerful tool, our emotions. That's why my company creates technology to make it possible to measure your emotions via heart rate changes and skin conductance, sweating. Imagine that you would know how actually surfing Instagram or working outdoors influence your happiness level. On the other hand, companies who develop products are desperately looking to know what customers feel at particular feature, at particular second of interacting with the product. And for those companies, we developed a solution based on the precise heart rate sensors made in-house. That is just a beachhead for us, and partnering with the marketing companies, we are collecting database to further improve our machine learning algorithms and reach our final goal, which is license the technology to the biggest wearables manufacturers. Emotion recognition market is already $1 billion industry, but we mostly hear about facial expressions. Then my company is targeting physiology segment, which just emerged. We already received 80K of non-dilutive investments and are looking for 200K to finish technology development. my team is perfect fit, as we have expertise in data science, electronics, and biology. For example, Alex also here is a PhD in computational biology, was studying at MIT and Harvard. I have 2 degrees, master degrees in physics and product design, and studied innovations at MIT. My startup already won a number of competitions, got press aid funding, and became a resident company of the biggest Russian innovation cluster, Skolkovo. Thank you for attention, and don't forget to be in touch with your emotions.
Can you thank you so much. Can you a bit explain on the go-to-market still, because you may have their licensed technology, and then you have like Apple and Xiaomi and so forth. I mean, is it have you already actually sold or licensed your technology, or what's the kind of idea to really get this innovation out?
So the final goal is to sell in a few years the license for the software algorithms, plus a batch of the know-hows on the electronics, on the way how to measure our heart rate in the best way.
Right, but I mean, this right-hand side there is quite ambitious, and if so, the price is completely wrong. Because it should be something else. But I'm just wondering, I mean, isn't there a way for you better to independently get to the market without Apple and Xiaomi?
Yeah, that's completely possible, but in the modern world, it doesn't make sense to actually compete with Apple. So what we see on the market, they mostly purchase startups who develop such
Right, so they will buy you and not
Yeah.
license you, but anyway.
Yeah, the price, by the way, is taken from the first bit company. They successfully sell for 20 years to Samsung and Huawei, HRV, so that's sports analytics. So I took those numbers from them.
So do you have a hardware product? I mean, are you creating that device?
Yes. On the picture, you can see the system fully developed by us from scratch.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and you'll know this better than I do, but GSR and heart rate monitoring can only really detect excitement levels, and that could be I'm happy or I'm very stressed. And so where's the how do you get the emotional intelligence from that?
Okay, scientists define 4 basic emotions. There's a happiness, sadness, anger, and fear. On the one axis, HR helps us, mostly HRV, if you know, parameter derived from the HR. And on the other axis, skin conductance help, just as in lie detectors. Yes, there is a number of papers showing feasibility of this. Scientific papers.
Okay, so you can detect those 4 emotions based on GSR and heart rate alone, and plus some algorithms.
Yes, we can distinguish between those. Of course, we have a number of different flavors, let's call it, in emotions. So now we are looking for the most simple cases with the most pure emotions.
So I generally have a good handle on myself, and if I'm angry, I know I'm angry. If I'm happy, I know I'm happy. Why do I need this?
That's a popular question from men. Maybe you don't need it. Second, I need to know you better, and to see situations in your life, maybe it could help. But right now we are targeting marketing companies and, for example, annoyance when you're using a product. Second, maybe you would like to know what your wife feels at the moment when you're coming home and whether she's angry on you. So there is a number of applications.
I can't see my wife authorizing me to know her emotion before I get home. I don't see the connection there, but okay.
Jules, I can't see that either. Anastasia, thank you. Please put your hands together and thank In Touch.
Thank you.
And actually, thank all the folks that came up here today. So now what's going to happen is over the next few minutes, they're going to tabulate the results, and you'll get the real-time feedback. We're totally connected here. We're able to figure out what you guys are thinking like right away. So we'll know who the winner of this pitch battle is, and this one will go on along with all the other winners of the day tomorrow for the ultimate pitch showdown. So they can fight for that bragging rights and the imaginary trophy of pitch champion. So guys, hold on, I have to get the judges' attention. So how did you guys feel about that group of folks, those companies? One word.
Diverse.
Patrick?
Yeah, quite exciting. Quite early.
One word, Patrick. All right. Jules. Is the word.
Needs some work.
Well, that's the whole idea. These are alphas and betas. These are not established companies, but there's a lot of gems, right? Diamonds in the rough that are here. So, are you guys enjoying Web Summit? Come on, let me hear you. Yeah, you guys are loving this. Did you guys have your favorites as you're watching these pitches? You kind of have who you think is going to win this? Huh? Some people idea? All right. So, you know what? Let's invite everybody back to the stage. We're going to have results here momentarily. So, MobiQ, come on up. Press a Point, Eureka Studios, Contentino, TVXL, Physio in a Box, and In Touch. You guys come up while we have some dramatic waiting time. How do you guys feel you did? Everybody feels you did good? Yeah, I think you guys did a fantastic job. So think about this. They had 180 seconds to present their passion, stuff they've been working on, the presentation they put together. They put it all together, and they gave these guys a great idea of what they're doing. Give them a round of applause. Have you guys recognized the stress? So is it easier when you're sitting down there watching or when you're up on the stage? Yeah, right, exactly. So we're going to see who actually was the shining gem of all of that. All right, we have a winner. Bo from Contentino is the winner of this round of the pitch battle. Thank you all for coming out and for supporting, and we'll start this again in just a few minutes. So stick around and enjoy Web Summit.